What is up, everyone?
Yo,
Harrigan BX here. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Mold, episode 142. We are your Tuesday night delight here on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. No days off for us, boys. No days off.
work.
I'm cracking that whip. But what's up, man? So let's say what's up to the rest of the crew. Let's go around the yard, as they're saying now. So, Brink, what's up,
Yo.
man?
Hey,
Yeah, I can't help but tell that you look like you're in a different setting today. Am I wrong?
different place. Yeah, man.
What's going on?
Different place, different state.
Oh,
No,
he's far from home.
I could tell a joke. Yeah, and say, this is what's left of my collection. This telescope right there.
Yeah,
No,
there you go.
just kidding. I don't own a telescope.
You could definitely
But,
see Saturn and Jupiter with that thing.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
It was cloudy here, man. I would have loved to have seen that. That'd been pretty cool. But we gotta wait 800 years till it happens again, or something like that. Wow.
Something like
Where-
that.
All the planets were like aligning this week or last week, something like that, right? Once in a
Yeah.
lifetime event.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's about. Hopefully, I can find the clip on YouTube later.
But I'm doing good. I'm here in Maine, of all places. So visiting some family for the holidays, things like that, helping out where I can. And yeah, that's where I be.
Nice. How long was that troop for you? Is it a long troop?
It's about 7.5 hour drive on the way up. So one of the things that is always hit or miss is when you come up here in the winter is there going to be snow? And there was flurries throughout like almost the whole trip up through Connecticut and stuff, but like once I hit Massachusetts, I started sticking to the road. So it's like, I've only got 2 more hours to go. I want to, but you got to slow down and be safe, stuff like that. People are counting on you to get there. Then when I hit New Hampshire, believe it or not, it was like really bad. And I was like, that's when everybody started seeing like cars in the weeds up on the side of the road and stuff like that. People just spinning out because obviously they're going too fast, and all of a sudden you see it start to accumulate. And then people don't realize when you change lanes when there's snow on the road, you got to take your foot off the gas, change the lane, then put your foot back on the gas. But then once I hit Maine, it's like the snowplow trucks were on the side of the road waiting for the next flake to fall. Like the roads are completely clear. I was like, wow, it's nuts. I know what they're doing in Maine here with snow.
Well, nice little road trip, and like you said, spend some time with the family for the holidays. So that's nice.
Yeah, man, I saved up all my podcasts from last week. Listened to them on the way up. Nerds of Spoken, the Nerd Life Syndicate, Shattercast, all those lovely shows.
Nice. All right, Dominic, how are you tonight, brother?
What's going on, guy? Good. Had a fairly good week and enjoyed some Christmas shopping this past weekend. So did a little, not as much traveling as Brian did, but going from mall to mall here and mall because we have nothing but malls here in New Jersey. So, but it just sucks too because with the COVID and everything, it's like when there's a store you want to go into where it's just a very small store. There's lines outside the store, and you just have to wait in line, and it's just horrible. So
I was about to ask, like, how was it? Like, how were the crowds? Were they large crowds?
It was huge. I think what happened was that a lot of people did online shopping, but with all the shit that's going on with shipping and the delays of shipping that are happening, they're like, I'm assuming a lot of people were like, oh fuck, my shit's not going to come in until after Christmas. So I think a lot of people did a lot of rush shopping this weekend, and especially this week to kind of pick up some stuff that they can, actually give to people. Because I know a couple of my things got delayed that I was buying for my nieces and nephews. So I remember talking about that Xbox last week that we got for my nephew, and it basically is delayed. It's not going to come until after Christmas. So
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Reminds me of Christmas of '84 when there was no Optimus Prime under the tree.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, I always do the same shit, man. Like I'm a procrastinator when it comes to that, so I always kind of do the last minute shopping too. And then whenever I'm in that moment, I'm like I know this already. I know this is what happens. Why didn't I just fucking buy this shit last month when it would have been nice and easy and no problem at all? You know, so it's just funny. I keep kicking myself in the ass for that, but I never learned my lesson. You know. So.
Yeah. I tell my wife that I operate better under pressure, so last minute shopping for me is always like, you know, something
that's something I do. Now, like,
you
gotta get it done. Now it's like you gotta get it done, you know. And
I got a clear head. I'm more focused, and I tend to get things done real fast, and you know, ideas tend to pop in my head. So, but I have the day off tomorrow, so I'm going to do my last minute shopping tomorrow, and then kind of close out everything tomorrow. So I should be done by tomorrow.
Wow, man. It's funny. This shipping thing is like no joke. I'm seeing stuff take forever. Like, and it's like,
are you seeing it from all carriers, or is it just from like a certain service?
It's just from USPS right now, as far as I know. I've since I knew I wasn't going to be here, you know, for the next few days. That you know, I kind of canceled stuff that was coming, you know, things like that. It looks like now I have a biker scout coming on Thursday. Call my neighbor up and be like, hey, go get that. You know, that's what kind of sucks when you kind of think about like people like Amazon who don't use USPS, because I put my USPS mail on hold. You just go online, be like, I'm out. I'm gonna be hold it from this day to this day, right? And then but like Amazon, they're just like, no, man, they ship it out with their own people. There is no putting mail on hold, stuff like that, you know, kind of thing. So that's what kind of stinks. I was gonna go somewhere else with that story, but I forget. Oh, the shopping, the shipping taking forever. Oh, I was gonna say, like, for my family this year, like, I'm done getting stuff people like. I've seen what happened to my life when you just accumulate stuff you don't want, kind of thing. So I was gonna get them consumables, like Omaha steaks for everybody. But then when I saw the all the shipping delays, I was like, well, I don't want to ship anything that's gonna perish. I'll just be like, I'll ship it to you after.
I would imagine those guys got some fucking kind of lock on like shipping, where it's like, you know what, nope, it's gonna get there. Like, right. You know, like I ordered my girl something from Amazon. Yesterday, today's Tuesday, right? Yesterday, yo, that shit came today, fucking overnight. Bang. And I forgot. Like she answered the door, she pulled this. She's like, oh, here. She's like, why are you getting so many packages? And I looked at it, I didn't even remember. I ordered it because I wasn't expecting it so fast. And I was like, oh. I was like, it's my toy. Don't worry about it. You can't
you can't see it. Another fucking toy. Meanwhile, you're like, shut the fuck up. It's for you, stupid.
Yo, yeah, word. FedEx Express, bro. FedEx Express, they do it right there. So I guess, you know, depends on the service you use. I see mine in the chat. Look, it's a package stuck in Jersey City for 9 days. Yeah. You know, like, I know a lot of people out there feeling that pain right now.
Gary sent me stuff like a month ago. I still haven't got it.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Like I remember, I think my wife ordered something on like Etsy, and the person who she was ordering from was in Jersey, and she shipped it, and it went out to like Texas. Like it went out of Jersey, went into Texas, and now it's like delayed for like 2 weeks. Like it's like crazy.
Well,
how does it go out of Jersey? Why would it go out of Jersey? Like it's like literally should stay in Jersey to get to you. Like if you're shipping out of Jersey and you're delivering it to Jersey. So it's just weird.
I'm gonna try shipping something to myself and see how long it takes. See where it goes. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's funny before
it should just go back in your fucking like mailbox.
It should. But let's see.
The day I came up here, I had 2 misdelivered packages to my house that were not mine. So I was like playing mailman on the way back, like while I was leaving my house. I was like, all right, drop this off there, drop this off there. And I'm like, those people would be still waiting for their stuff. If I didn't happen to catch it before I left. It's kind of nuts.
No, so, all
It happens.
right. So, Energon Addict, how you doing tonight, Pop?
Who's that? Oh, that's me.
That's that guy.
I'm good, man. I was just thinking, you guys are talking about this. The same shit happened to me. I had ordered my wife something, and I ordered it on the 11th of December. I hadn't had any updates, not even a shipping update. But then yesterday, it just came out of nowhere. No shipping, no tracking, and it's not a cheap item either. You know what I'm saying? It just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm waiting to see if for some reason maybe they fucked up. You know what I mean? But I just don't see how you send something out with no shipping. Oh wait, this gets better. So the reason I say that is I'm waiting to see what happened is because it looked like a regular person delivered the product. Like somebody came to my house. I looked on the ring, and it was somebody in a red SUV. Regular clothes dude jumps out. It came in the right box and everything, you know, because it was from Nordstrom's. So it said Nordstrom's from somewhere in PA and everything. But the dude dropped it off, took a picture, walked away. So I'm thinking they're starting to use some kind
Other
of
people, yeah.
other like
Third-party
regular
people.
courier system. Yeah, like
DoorDash or some shit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that would work.
I think I saw like some guy delivering packages from a U-Haul. Like they had like must be a third-party person, and they had a U-Haul truck, and they were delivering packages out of there in my neighborhood.
Yeah, my last Amy box, I think it was Amy, came in a budget rent a truck. It was
No shit.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
so it's happening everywhere. I guess
But
either they're short-handed or somehow you can like third-party contract deliver shit. Like, you know, like
Maybe they're handing out certain deliveries to contract services if they can't handle it all or something like that. That's crazy.
maybe it was it was something from FedEx, so I don't know. I mean, said it's DHL, so it's I don't know, who knows. But it was crazy. I was like, he's just like, I happen to be outside, and he pulls up, and he has a package. He's walking toward me. I'm like,
Budget.
for me? Okay.
JD, I don't know, E Prime might be rubbing it in right there. Like,
He's always
sure is.
trying to rub it in.
I actually got one too. I didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want to see. I'm more worried about your feelings, JD, than EE is.
Well, no, I mean, he even sent me tracking. He's like, I'm sorry it's taking so long. I don't know why. I sent him.
I hope Gary will listen to this because this will give him. You know, Gary. He won't sleep thinking about that tomorrow.
Here,
JD, I bought another one and I sent another one out. If the other one comes, don't worry.
see, it doesn't say. This first one, it says your package will arrive later than expected, but is still on the way. It is currently in transit to the next facility, and that's how it's looked for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Like me tracking.
Yo, JD, your box is that box. Have you seen that new picture? That new video that's out. That box that just is going down the ramp and it doesn't fall down. It just keeps going.
Oh no!
That's your box.
Oh no!
That's when that's when your progress says stuck in transit. It's just stuck on a conveyor belt.
Man, that happened to me over the summer with the Studio Cell Unicron. Like it was showing like from overseas to here, like this in about 3 days, and then about 6 weeks the tracking didn't update from California to the Bronx. Like, and then it just seemed like it just showed up one day, like, you know, like they said for this thing. So.
Yeah, that happened to me. Same thing. Stuck in California.
That was just Hasbro trying to intercept those packages.
You know, you get worried about it, but sometimes I'm like, you know what? The shit it's gonna eventually show up. Like, how would it never show up? Like, what kind of crazy fucking act that God would have had to happen that shit just doesn't show up? Like, eventually, you know, somebody if it's in the postal service, unless it's stolen, I would figure it would show up.
Yeah. Good.
One of those large boats tip over in the ocean and your package is 60 feet
No,
fathoms down in the deep.
You know that's a real thing, right?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It just happened recently.
Yep.
What's the vessel name? Asus or Asus or some shit like that. It's a vessel that left from Japan, and fucking you guys obviously know about it. If the listeners don't, they basically capsized and a bunch of containers fell overboard.
Yeah.
So now it's back in Japan. They're trying to assess what's missing and what's not. So they don't
bye Mythic Legions and
real because JT, that stuff left from Japan, but it had China product in it, Taiwan product in it, Japanese.
Oh Jesus!
It wasn't just product from Japan. So
all I know is BBTS is in possession of my Fans Toys Astro Train, so I am perfectly fine. Good to go.
It's all Snake Mountains and Aether waves sitting in the bottom of the ocean.
I never thought about Mythics.
Breaking the Mold Deep Dive Edition. Let's go, guys.
Those Deep Dive Edition. Those Mythics we ordered so long ago. Anyway, it's like I'll wait another.
To be nice and loose
months.
when you get them out of the water.
It's true. Custom weathered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Custom barnacles.
How
It's
are
aged.
you? Everything good? Everything else good?
We still doing
Who, me?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, Dave.
Oh,
Dave. Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm good.
Went straight
good.
into shipping woes, just
Even
wanna
with
make
this Christmas madness, like you guys were just saying,
same
I didn't
shit.
buy nobody much like this year. If I do get whoever I do buy gifts for, you're getting one thing or, half of what you should be getting normally because, it's true. There's nothing online. Like, it's hard to shop for people online. So especially like clothing and shit like that, you like to see it up front. So like I already bought my dad a hoodie and the shit's big on me. My dad's smaller than me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck, I'm out of gift already. So I already told him, look, try it on, wash that shit. If it don't fit you, I'll take it, and I'll buy you something else. But, no, for real, I'm like, wash that shit, shrink it. Like, I want to fucking
Talk to me
But
when you put it through the rinse cycle about 50 times.
I was on Friday because I had just got paid, and I'm like, all right, let's do some last minute Christmas shopping. And nothing's guaranteed delivery before Christmas. Very few items were guaranteed delivery before Christmas. Everything's the weekend of. And I'm like, you know what? Just order it, and just if you don't get the gift in time, it's coming. Better to have something than nothing. So that's what I did. So I'm delayed on Christmas myself. Luckily, not for my daughter or my wife, but everybody else. Sorry. You know what I'm saying?
I feel since Christmas is on a Friday, since Christmas is on a Friday, Christmas is the whole weekend. So you count if it comes on Saturday or
If it comes on Saturday or Sunday, like some of these Sunday deliveries, they should
still
count, right?
counts.
I mean, Chan keeps saying we're gonna have second Christmas, so
Nice.
it's gonna be like a week-long adventure.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I mean, usually, Dave, did your family ever do Three Kings on January 6th?
Yeah. Three Kings Day.
My mom would just give me like an extra card and, with a little bit of loot in it. So it was like, I'll take it.
That shit stopped when I was like 10, bro. You don't remember that shit no more. Don't give him nothing. That's the way I'm going to bring it up this year, though. That's a good one. This year we're exchanging presents on Three Kings Day.
Bring it back, bro. Bring it back. All right. JP, what's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Really, really good. We had a pretty cool weekend. We had our Rapture Tattoo Emporium Christmas dinner.
Nice.
So there's a local like it's like a punk rock / like metal bar in the city, and of course they can't like do the regular thing as far as like patrons and all that stuff, but they have like a third floor that it's like it's got its own bar and like a living room with a giant TV, and it had a Switch, an Xbox Series X, and a PS5, and a bunch of games and shit.
That's cool.
So like that's where we went, and they made food and all that kind of stuff. And my boss got everybody gifts, and he started me down a path I've been avoiding for a long time.
Ooh.
So
You got
thanks,
you a gift
Jake.
that
Yeah. So
Tell us about
he
it.
got me the Sideshow 1/6 Mythos Boba Fett.
Oh,
Ah!
welcome to the club.
Yeah, right.
you have been avoiding that for a long time.
I have.
Those are not
been-
figures.
Those are stupid. Those are not toys.
It's pretty awesome.
But it looks so beautiful.
Oh,
It's pretty awesome and beautiful.
See
It
that?
is. It's pretty awesome. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Oh.
Are you already committed?
Besides
Are you
really-
already? You committing to
Oh,
another?
she's handing it to you. She's handing it to you.
Yeah.
That does look nice. That does look dope.
Comes with.
Mhm.
He's got a bunch of lightsaber hilts, and
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's fucking.
Mhm.
He's dope.
Yeah,
That's
that
a good
looks cool.
figure.
So, yeah, it's fun.
And the timing.
Oh, it's not a statue. You can mess with
Yeah. You can pose them.
It's
So-
it's so funny because that
you call
figure
it a
was,
doll,
sold out.
No, I wouldn't.
Not today, but maybe
Not
a
today.
year ago.
Maybe a year ago.
it.
You guys and your silly dolls.
it.
Oh, listen, all we got to do is convert Jose now. We're done.
Come on, Jose. Go to the 12 inches, man.
Those things, they
His,
do.
his birthday's in April, right? It's coming. Don't worry about it.
That's what, that's what it'll be. I'll enjoy a new one once a year. You can keep them coming for my birthday. That's how I'll collect. That'll be nice. They look great. Is that the same line that they were doing that Obi-Wan from? Like that where he looks like he's in between the episode 3 and episode 4?
Yep.
Yeah, that I mean,
Yeah.
I thought that one looked really, really good. So,
Yep. So
Yeah.
Someone,
after
someone,
like
ha-
getting
someone
this
has that. Someone
I
has
have.
that in our panel too. Yep.
out- yeah.
I haven't seen that box in a long time. I
Huh.
wonder where that be.
Very.
I was thinking of if I do these, like I at least want to do that Obi-Wan.
Mhm.
You talking about the second one already?
He's already going.
That's
Yo,
it.
and then when they do
That's where it is
when they do a
stopped.
Darth Maul, he's like, I gotta get the Darth Maul
What?
one.
You can't have
Darth Maul
one.
mythos.
One will be lonely. You know,
We'll see.
he'll be standing all there around with all these 6-inch figures. Be like, I can't relate to any of you people. You know, until we start the lights go off.
No. I mean, it,
Well, you
It's
got the
nice.
you got the 1/6 Motu figures, right, GD?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not my first rodeo into the 1/6 scale stuff. I mean, I got Destiny stuff and got some 1,000 toys. 1/6
It's just
scale stuff.
it's in that Sideshow Hot Toys banner. So it's-
the Star
Nothing else
Wars
to
stuff.
That's it.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
like, I mean, like I can't do this like I do Black Series. You know what I mean?
When you
Yeah.
sell
That's
them,
why.
when you sell them all, you can.
Well,
well, you got the
it's
whole
a
other
little. It's a little easier to troop build Black Series figures. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Imagine how big your fodder bins would have to be for all the
Oh
12,
my God.
all the 6 scale stuff.
Yeah.
JD opens a chores. There's some old shore troopers in there, clone troopers. I'll get to them someday.
That's a lot of space. That's a
Yeah.
lot of space. Whew.
They are very
Yeah.
man. They are very nice, and I could see the why you're hesitant because a franchise that you love, Star Wars, and then it's a big hole to fall down.
I know how I am, and I want to try and depict multiple scenes, and I have the troop building problem as well, so
you gotta get this guy a Vader.
You see it in his face, right? You see it. You see it in his face.
He's hooked.
Yep.
He's hooked.
So stop.
Let's get it. Let's get him a Vader, dude. Let's get him a Vader. Then he's really hooked.
He's happy and worried at the same time. Look at his face.
I'm okay.
You know, when you laugh and fart at the same time, that's what you do.
JD, so tonight there's going to be a tickle in the back of your neck, and you're going to be like, let me go search those mythos, Obi-Wan. Let me take a look at the Vader. Let's see who else is out there.
No, I haven't. No, I'm not yet.
Well,
I'm not looking yet.
I'm
not looking yet.
What's funny, JD, is when I opened that Mythos Obi-Wan, that was the first 12 scale I ever opened. And I did it at Chris's house because I was like, you know what? He's done this before. I'm like, open it for me. What do I expect? And it's funny. I pulled it out and. I tried making some initial poses at first, and it's like, all right, well, once you get stuff situated, then you got to adjust this, and then I just put it back in the box. I was like, I'm not ready, just not ready. It's just too much work. That's like, maybe I just wasn't in the mood at the time, but
I mean, it is kind of like,
yeah.
I mean, I probably sat for, I don't know, like 3 hours messing with this. You know what I mean? Putting it together, just on a single figure. But every time I get a new Motu 1 or a Destiny 1 comes through the house, you know what I mean? I'll sit for a few hours and I'll mess with everything, you know what I mean? Until I okay, this is how I'm going to do it. This is how I want them to be seen. But yeah.
One is a lonely number.
Well, listen, now we already know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know what to get them.
Yeah, exactly.
You to make a decision now.
Yeah, make sure Chan's listening too.
He's listening.
Good.
We know what to get JD for his birthday every year now.
Yep.
Easy presents now. Easy presents.
Let's see. KJ in the chat says, I bought the Mandalorian hot toy, and now I can't stop buying the damn thing. See, so I mean, I think that is in the lore. You jump in, maybe you get your first piece, and sometimes you get wowed, and and then you can't help it, man. It's a line that you're gonna go down. Like, no matter. That's good. Enjoy it.
So like at the party, Jake was all like, he's like, who's opening one? Because I really need to fuck with one of these things. I need to see what this is all about. So like Daniel and I both opened ours, and Daniel was sitting right there by Jake, and Jake
Wait, did he bought one for everybody?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good boss.
Who's birthday, boss?
Yeah.
I gotta start drawing.
Yeah. He's a fucking good dude. He every year he wants to spoil us with something. Mm-hmm. I mean, he takes us somewhere and then he gives us some extravagant present. Last year he had pieces of Beskar made. Like,
I remember that.
Real pieces of, you know what I mean? It was like a tangible piece of metal that was, and it looked like Beskar.
Very cool.
But he was like, him and I were talking today. He's like, so did you find a place for your Boba Fett yet? And I was like, no, not yet. I was like, I got him out, was fucking with him for a few hours, but I got to figure out what I want to do with him. And he's like, yeah, so I keep looking at that Mandalorian. Like, I'm not a collector or anything like that. I just get something here and there, but like, I'm really fighting myself to not buy that thing. So he's doing the same thing. You know what I mean? He's trying to.
Dude, the hype is high. for that right now.
Yeah.
There's it's easy to fall into those traps.
Mhm.
I mean, Razor Crests and stuff, and
Yeah. Well, when the
I
new
see
year-
that freaking child anywhere else. I mean, come on. Have you seen? You know what I think is pretty cool? People are putting him as a tree topper on the top of their tree, and then they're having like a floating
really?
ball. Yeah, they're hanging like a floating ball, like maybe a few inches away from his hand,
Yeah.
to make it look like it's coming.
Oh,
at
you know
him.
what?
So cool.
My mom sent me a picture of something like that.
That's cool. That's a nice visual. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
But I wanted to also mention. I see some comments in the chat. Like Mike said something about I'm afraid to commit to them, that he go broke fast. So I think that's kind of like what scares a lot of people into the Hot Toys thing, is the initial price for one item. You're essentially paying anywhere between $200 and $300 for it, or more, depending if you're getting a deluxe set. But what I find is, especially with like Sideshow, or like if you pre-order on BBTS, is you have a ton of time to pay for your item. It's not like they're coming out with these like Hasbro does, where the picture of the item will come out and it's already up for pre-order a week later, and it's in the stores 2 weeks after that. It's this, they give you a year and a half, 2 years sometimes to pick up these pre-orders, so you have the time to pick them up. So $40-$50 a month won't really hit you as hard, and then when you actually get it in hand, you'll be like, oh shit, like it was definitely worth it. Other people pick them up, right? I got $300 to spend, like Dom buys like 10 at a pop, but that's him. Me, with this payment plan thing, it works for me on my budget. I could pay for 2 or 3 a month and be okay, as opposed to just buying one when it comes out. So I think if you like Mike says, I have like 10 pre-orders at the same time, I can't help myself. Well, it's just about pacing. Like I got scared at one point too, because I had about like 7 things on pre-order with Sideshow, but the way that these things come out, they're not dropping 2 or 3 figures a month. It's rare that they do that. It's not like Mezco or other companies. They'll drop maybe a Star Wars figure a month. So, and not even. So you'll get, let's say, your pre-order from last year, you'll get something in January. Your next one, you're probably not getting till March, the way I've been getting them. So, I mean, it's feasible if you really want to start collecting them. That's all I'm saying.
That's the other thing, like that that it doesn't scare me, but it has deterred me from getting into this, that wait, like waiting a year and a half for a
long
figure
wait,
to come out. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's another thing. It's like,
Yeah, but when you do get it, you're essentially getting, the way I look at it, as like the end-all product.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in between, I could have got 7 Mandalorians from Hasbro, but I got this one from Hot Toys, and it kind of does its work itself. You know what I'm saying? It speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's like it's there and it looks beautiful and it comes with everything, and
Yeah.
it's all about how you want to spend your money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's good information to put out, though, like for those that don't know. Like, what I'm saying? And I was about to ask, because you did mention like a payment plan. So for like those like you, Dave, and anybody else that has that experience, like, is it like that where you could just keep paying month to month, or like what's the window like?
Yep.
So like I'll give you an example. They'll give you an initial down payment, right? Your first payment, depending on the product, may not be until the end of next year. So like if I wanted specifically something, I think it's Captain Rex. Is it Rex or Ahsoka? I think if I want to pre-order her now, my first payment's not till October of next year.
Okay.
Like besides the down payment.
Okay.
And then it's October, November, December. Like what they try to do is they gauge it to when it's going to release.
Okay. Do you have an option to pay before that? Like as far as
they do now. They have an option where you could even click on it, like, and let's say you have the extra money, you want to pay for it now, and you don't want to worry about it in 4 months, you can click it and pay for it.
Okay. Can you do like monthly though? Like instead of like, let's say them starting to charge you in October,
Nah,
I'm doing it now. So start charging me like a monthly payment now, like a monthly.
no.
Mm-mm. See, I think I prefer something like that. So I'd have more time. I feel like I'd have more time for it, and I'm just putting it down like every month instead of like basically squeezing. Like I feel better paying it out in 12 payments instead of like, let's say 4. I guess, you know.
I always thought, I always wanted to do that too, Jose. I think the only reason they don't do that is because you'll get, you know, a bunch of Joe Schmoes that paid for their item, and the schmucks that they are, they're not going to wait for the release. Where's my product? And if they don't get it on March 1st when it was promised, they're asking for it every week until it comes out. When they do it like this, they'll even push your last payment back. They'll tell you, hey, your last flex payment has been pushed back to this date because the product's not coming out till later.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
where does everybody get their hot toys?
I go to Sideshow, and I've gotten, I would say the majority through like Facebook, like used, you know what I'm saying? Like through other collectors is where I got most of my collection.
And I know BBTS carries them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Sideshow is basically the official place to get them, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And Dave is right. Like Dave is right. Like what they try to do if you pick the installment plans, they try to keep it between 8 payments. So if you get in early and you pre-order early on a figure that you just like put up for pre-order, you'll get the option to do like an 8 payment payment plan. But like what they do is they set it they set it to where they think the item is going to release, and then they do the 8 payments back. So like what Dave says, like sometimes your first payment won't be until mid next year, you know, because they think that it's going to come out by the end of or the first quarter of 2022. So they'll just go back and say, okay, here it's going to come out March 2022. We'll do 8 payments. That's like the most that they'll ever do is like 8 payments, 8 or 10 payments. I think it was like they try to keep it towards like if you jump on it early, but if you get into it a little late, you're now in mid 2021. You're probably only going to get like 7 payments or 5 payments, option. So the payment options definitely do decrease when it gets closer to the release date.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
I think when if it's in stock or if it's like if it's about to release, you can always get like I think it's a 2 or 3 payment schedule, right? Dave, I can't remember. Like you if you don't necessarily have to pay an in stock item all at once. You can they give you the option to do a payment plan. I think it's like a 2 or 3 month payment cycle that you can do and break those payments up into 2 or 3 payments. So
buying toys, not a car.
Even on in stocked items. Yeah, exactly. Well, sometimes
you have financing.
Cash flow. It's all about cash flow.
Yeah. I mean, the option is great. Like, listen, like this HasLab Unicron, you had to pay that shit outright, right? Like if you got it from Hasbro Pulse, they sent you that bill, they charged your credit card or whatever your payment option was. So, it's a hit to take that in one shot. But I fucking feel great knowing I paid for this shit over a year ago, and now the drop is imminent. It's imminent. It's right there. So that's like, I was thinking about that, JD, when you were talking about like with these things having to wait so long for that pre-order to come in, and it does the anticipation could be like fuck, but look, this time eventually passes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's right there, and it's paid for. I don't have to worry about it. So.
Yeah. I mean that's a good thing. You down the road you do forget about it, and you're like, oh shit, it's free. I just got kind of a free toy, kind of. Not really, but.
It was like that was 2 years ago money. It's been spent. Don't feel it now, so that's cool. And it's good. I mean, listen, some of these things are higher price. Not everybody's budget towards the hobby's the same. So, nice that, you could get a payment option for some of these more premium items, like that's cool. And like Dom, you mentioned if they've got 10-month payment plans, that's almost yearly, so the monthly breakdown shouldn't be too bad with something like that.
Yeah, like it all depends on the cost. Like if you're buying a $400 die cast Iron Man, it's you're going to be a little bit more on the monthly payments depending on where you jump in. So versus a $260 other hot toy that you might be getting. But it's up to you on how you want to purchase your items, how you want to secure your items. Like I saw the question that somebody posted. Like I usually secure most of my pre-orders with third parties like BBTS and Toy Dojo. So like I'll secure certain hot toys with them. They don't require like BBTS is doing it more often now, where you require a down payment, like but like at the end of the day, if it does come in, it comes in, and if you don't want it, you can always cancel it and you just get store credit for it and use the money for something else. But like with regards to securing your hot toys, I'll use those vendors just to secure them and then make the decision when they do come in stock whether I want to spend the money out or do I have the money available. And it is sold out and I can't get it anywhere else, and I'm not going to drop this pre-order. You kind of can gauge that and secure those pre-orders, and a lot of people do it. Like that's why every pre-order on BBTS sells out on very hot items, because everyone's just securing a pre-order, and when the item does drop, you mostly 80% of the time you'll see those items like once again fill up in BBTS and available because people are dropping their pre-orders because they don't have the money to spend for it, and they'll just time it out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it happens. Like I know it does. So
yeah. And as far as like these types,
but like,
go ahead.
But no, but like for example, like I'll use the next like for the Remnant Trooper, Hot Toy Remnant Trooper that came out. Like that one went on pre-order, it dropped, but it never, like everyone took their pre-orders. They sold it because it sold out. There was not a lot of made. And all of a sudden you realize that, people are not dropping their pre-orders. Everyone's running to Sideshow and pre-ordering out of that. And then all of a sudden it gets waitlisted. And then, then that's where the game starts, where the secondary market price goes, double the price, or like, $50, $60 more above the retail price. So it happens. So like you tend to gauge on what's popular, and securing certain pre-order items like that would like, will help you do that. And whether you have the money at the time, and then you say, you don't want to be in that boat where all of a sudden you want the item, you have the money, and you haven't secured it pre-ordered. And then all of a sudden you're crap out of luck because nobody's dropping pre-orders. Things are selling fast, and all of a sudden you have to pay a secondary market price.
Yeah.
It happens. Like this Mandalorian, even the first one. I think the first one that just came out. It's like nobody's dropping their pre-orders. So like it's still sold out in BBTS. It's dropping soon. I know people have been getting them. It hasn't been sold out on Sideshow yet, but eventually once things are happening and people realize that these third party vendors like BBTS and Toy Dojo, who carry hot toys, they're not having in stock sales, they're going to jump over to Sideshow, and then that figure itself is going to be waitlisted. Yeah. And then when it's waitlisted, then that's when everybody goes like bonkers and just like gets on the wait list or starts trying to buy it up on eBay, that before your the eBay sellers start jacking up the prices.
So see what you just described, like that's a good example of people basically using the third party vendor like a BBTS as like a safety net, either way, so, and interesting, like when that happens and then the drop comes, and then how it'll sell out on the official site just because people are trying to get their hands on it.
And I'm going to tell you right now, hot toys, Star Wars hot toys sell the best. Like I have there's items where I know that come in from my pre-orders, and I see that they don't, like when they drop, and I in my loot, and I see that the in stock quantity doesn't show up on BBTS, it's still showing sold out, is because people are keeping their they're buying those hot toys, and they're not canceling their orders. And Marvel Marvel, like, you know, I don't know whether it's because there's no kind of, you know, movies going on at the time, but with Marvel, it's like Marvel just doesn't. They like I literally. Your pre-orders drop, and then all of a sudden it comes in stock, and people are canceling their pre-orders, and then all of a sudden you see like the in stock and BBTS is like, you know, 24. You know, like, you know, it's so available, and you know, you don't have to waste your money in buying it now because you can wait a little bit and see whether it's, you know, you get some money or inflow. You can buy the figure if you want. So there's just no rush to it. Like I just feel like if you're in Star Wars, you really need to secure your pre-orders, because it's like you don't know which figures are going to sell out, and you're going to be like, you know, paying secondary market prices.
Hey,
go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say, don't you think that they are made to order? Almost. Sideshow, like, because
some of them are, yeah. Like, I think,
for example, this
the
Mandalorian, right? For it to still be up on pre-order on Sideshow, I think it's only because they're cranking them out.
They had a lot of pre-orders. Yeah.
They're just cranking them out, you know, and they're leaving it open because they know people are still ordering it. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming, I'm just making shit up right now, but there's fucking 100,000 Mandalorians out there, as opposed to maybe 40,000 Luke in disguise. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see this thing being rare in the future. This thing's gonna be sold all over the place. The Mandalorian.
I agree with you. I think they gauge based off pre-orders on how much more they make. Like, for example, like the Patrol Trooper and the Mud Trooper that came out for the Han Solo.
It didn't do well on pre-order. Right.
It didn't do well on pre-order, so they didn't make a lot. And then all of a sudden, when it sold out, it was like, you know, people were chasing after it.
Yeah, and then you get you get a figure that. That's a fucking regular Patrol Trooper, you know, fucking side character that is probably fetching a higher dollar than you would a A-list character in some of these movies.
Yep.
Main character.
Yep. And it happens a lot. So it's like if you're really interested, or you love this, if you love the movie and you want those characters represented in your collection, you know, make sure you pre-order it and get on it, because it's like the Remnant Trooper is the same thing. It was not a lot of people pre-order it because it's just a simple stormtrooper that they've issued time and time again, but it's just all dirtied up, and I'm sure there was not a lot of pre-orders out there booked, so they didn't make a lot, so it sells out a lot faster. So you just have to take that into consideration.
And to your point, Dom, you just said something about like the Marvel has kind of been decreasing because there's not really much going on with it right now. But I know Jose wanted to bring up something about the MCU stuff coming up, right? Like the new movies and shows and the HBO Cinemax thing. So I don't know, maybe this is the right time to fucking start talking about that stuff. You know, like, because Marvel's ready to start peaking again.
Yeah, and the way media like ties in, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like the way you guys just said that the Mandalorian pre-order like still open, like I would imagine just because there's very active and popular media for that now, it's like, how is that not like sold out? And you figure a lot of people are just going to be like hot for it. Frank in the chat just brought up, you know, like he's saying Rogue One characters appearing in Mando, demand is rising. That always happens too. You know, when you start getting characters, you know, showing up in shows and it's popular.
Yeah, like like one of the figures that are very popular right now that's selling very high in the secondary market is the Shore Trooper. The Shore Trooper is a very popular Rogue One trooper, and it made an appearance in this I think episode 7 when they brought in that big tanker. You'll see all the troopers were celebrating. One of those troopers was a Shore Trooper. And people are already, predicting that Hot Toys will drop another Shore Trooper for the Mandalorian series. So, it's a beautiful figure.
Yeah, look at that.
Everybody loves it, and it's something that a lot of people missed out on because pre-orders probably weren't high at the time, and and they didn't make that much as they would typically a Mando or a Boba Fett. Boba Fett has been reissued so many times.
Bubba.
So, and I know people laughing and saying Bubba. That's what I say. I say Bubba, dude. I love Bubba.
Bubba Fett.
Bubba Fett.
I kind of want to
But,
get into the Mando stuff, man. Like I'm gonna warn people, like spoilers ahead and shit, because that just wrapped up this weekend, and it sort of just ties into like the whole action figure discussion that we were just having. Because with Hot Toys putting out characters, and Dom, you said it earlier, like if you're a fan of Star Wars, like these are the type of figures like you want to be collecting. I mean, look what came out of like these last few episodes of The Mandalorian. We did discuss last week like all those new Disney Plus shows that are going to be coming out. So the potential like of new toys, new action figures, not just 1/6 scale like we were just discussing, but just all types of stuff that's going to represent like all these new shows coming out. I mean, Mando, judging by the reaction from this weekend, seemed like a lot of people were happy with the wrap up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that here feels the same. So fair warning, guys. If you haven't watched it, you don't want to get spoiled. Back out now. But it's been a few days. I think we should be able to talk about
If you haven't watched it, you're not a fan.
If you haven't watched it, you shouldn't
There
be
you go,
watching
JD.
the show.
Yeah.
Even the
You're in the wrong
Bubba.
fucking room.
Here's my
even the
Boba
cat.
Fett.
Even the casuals, I think, caught up with the show this weekend, like after hearing the hype, you know what I'm saying? So, what do you guys think, man? There was a big moment, but, series, like just overall, how do you think season 2 went? And wow, what a moment we got. What do you guys think? Did you guys geek out?
How about everybody go down the line at when you watched it and your reaction?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Was anybody spoiled?
Yeah.
Was anybody spoiled at first? Like
No.
I woke up.
I was not spoiled.
I woke up early. I woke up early before work to watch it before even opening my phone. So if it was your birthday Friday, I didn't wish you happy birthday that morning. Kind of stuff.
So
Yeah.
Frank, go ahead. Like talk about like when you watched it, dude. Because I could imagine just anybody watching that moment that first time, just
Yeah, I've been. It's to me it was. I didn't know where they're gonna wrap this season up. Right? It could have wrapped up in any situation whatsoever. And the thing is, they uncovered like so many things this season. Like we know Bo-Katan's after Gideon. We know Ahsoka's after Thrawn. We know that they put the baby on this rock and he sent a blue light, out into the universe. And we know that Ahsoka said, another Jedi might come. And so here I am thinking, I'm like, all right. So in this timeline, like with the expanse of the universe with Rebels and Clone Wars, that there's people out there that are Jedi, but to be honest, they're all hiding to save their skin right now because Vader's out there cutting fuckers down, and we better get that show. That's all I'm saying. I'm pointing. Better get that show. But anyway, actually, Vader's dead. Forget it. He died 5 years ago. Anyway, but they're still all cringy. But anyway, or maybe they're all dead. But I digress. But we know that there's one guy out there. We know there's one guy out there that's a Jedi because we saw him become a Jedi. And it's like, will they pull another, rabbit out of the hat when it's like, oh, what about this character that you forgot about, kind of thing. So to me, when you watch the X-Wing pull up, sorry, here's the spoiler start. When you watch the X-Wing pull up, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my God, it's Luke. I'm like, but are they really going to do it? Like, are they really? Because all of a sudden you pause it like me and you start analytically thinking about it. I'm like, okay, so we know there's been talk of Sebastian Stan. We know that they do the digital face printing on stuff. We've seen them do that before. I'm like, maybe they won't show him personally, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then like I'm thinking to myself, am I going to hear the animated Joker series voice? Because that's all I think about when I hear Hamill now. And it's like, all right, unpause. It's coming in, and you see people on the bridge freaking out, like, oh my god, Gideon, he knows what's going on. All right, the ship pulls into the hangar. Pause. All right. Luke's got an X-wing.
I would not be able to hang out with you, bro.
No.
I'm fucking pausing it.
It's like we know it's Red 5. All right, let me look at the wing because I learned this year that there's tick marks on the wing that I never fucking realized before. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't see the tick marks there. I'm like, well, maybe that ship crashed. Maybe got another one. All right, unpause. It comes through, and then I love the way that they delay confirmation in this show because you know it in your heart. You know it's him, but you want to deny it because it's like, would they really do that? And here it comes. He's coming in. They show him on a black and white monitor, so you can't see the color of the goddamn lightsaber. So I'm like, all right. But you see him in the cloak, right? So we've seen Ahsoka wear cloaks, but I'm looking at the shape, the silhouette, and I'm like, there's no fucking horns under that cloak. So it's a human under there. I'm like, it's him. It's not him. It's him. Are they going to do it? Those crazy bastards are going to do it. And then they show the in-person camera shot, and the lightsaber's green. He's got one glove on. All right. So then it's like, all right, stop pausing and just sit back because they fucking gave you Luke and you just want to sit there and watch it. Because, despite all the boards that you're on or listening to everybody talk about fan service and blah, 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 you know what? Just shut up and let them give it to you because, you know how Luke's story ends, but you want to see this. You want to
see everything in between.
You want to see it. And it's so good to see it come about. And it was nice that they introduced another set of droids in this show so that you could see him doing fucking Jedi shit without it having to be rated X, with him actually cutting down actual people. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be X. That would be, he'd be doing something else with the lightsaber if it was X, I guess. But and then he comes into the room, and it's like, all right, are they gonna show it? What are they gonna do? Who's it gonna be? What's gonna happen? And then they show it, and it's him. And I was like, oh. And I'll just kind of stop there and see what you guys think. But a couple things that I really liked was that when he comes to the door, they're all on that bridge with their guns pointed at that door because they're not us. These people, well, maybe Bo-Katan knows, but these people don't know what the Jedi are about. They just saw this motherfucker gun down, chop down some heavy duty droids. So they don't know what's going on. We know, obviously, which I think is really cool. And I love the fact that he never announces his name. Because these people, they don't know who Luke is. They might know the name from the Hollow news outlets that they watch. Like, he's the guy that blew up the Death Star. He's the guy that led Rogue Squadron or whatever. But they don't know he's a Jedi. Only we know that. And I think that's really cool that they reinforce that in this show, showing that this galaxy is so huge that not everybody knows what's going around because not everybody sees what we see.
Yeah. That
was pretty good for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you hit it. I agree with you a lot. Like the whole, when I saw the X-wing come through, I was like, oh no, they did not. And and like you said, Brian, I loved how you picked it up because the first scene, it's a black and white, so you don't see what color the lightsaber is, and it's like, who can it be? And I know there was a lot of rumors that it could, they were hoping, like a lot of fans were hoping it to be Mace Windu coming back, and it was kind of like, I at that point I'm like, could it be Mace Windu? Then eventually when they showed that color scene and you saw the green saber, the glove, I'm like, holy shit, it's Luke. And then just him fucking going through the corridors and fucking cutting down all those. And what gave it some some clout was that Mando was just fighting one of them, and he was just having a whole fucking time, just beating, getting him fucking beating that dark trooper. So it's like him coming through the corridor and killing like 50 of them. Like it just gave some meaning that this guy is no fucking, is legit. And it's like, and then the last one, I loved it when he was at the last one. He kills the last one, turns to the other one, and just fucking crushes him with his force, like a force crush. Oh, dude, I was like, you got to be. This is the Luke that I wanted to fucking see. This is the Luke that I wanted to see perform and show like him as like one of the Jedis that you would that you dreamt about after seeing Episode 6. Like this is the Luke that I wanted to see, and it was great. And I think they did a great job. They kept it simple. They really didn't get into it when he revealed his face. They talked about the child and focused it on that and not just him. And it could have been like a big drawn out dialogue of who he is and all that bullshit, but it was more towards I'm here to grab the kid, and he's and I like the fact that it was like he's waiting for you to give him up, like he was asking the Mando to give permission to to let him go, and that was nice to see. And it was a great episode. I enjoyed it very much, and I think it was a great closure to the season. And there's definitely more to be told. Like I think the Mando season 3 is going to be obviously where he goes after that and how his character develops, because there is some type of he does have the the dark saber, and he's got a Bo-Katan doesn't want to take it from her. She needs to fight him for it. So it's like I like to see what that situation turns out to, and obviously he has all the right to be the leader of the Mandalorian because he has that, and see whether he does take on that position and where they go from there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It was just great. I enjoy. I think like JD's been saying all the time, like Jon Favreau and forgot who's the other guy named JD? I'm sorry,
Dave Filoni.
Yeah, Dave Filoni. They just know it. They know what we want, and I think they just did a great job. Just give it to them and let them do what they do best. And I think they did enough storytelling, new character build, little fan teases, fan pleasing, and all the stuff that they done this season. I think is what we want as Star Wars fans. Like you can build what you can build new things, but you need to kind of have those, like that little appetite and that desserts in there to kind of please the old fans. And I think they did it really well. A good job with the Mandalorian. So
yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
What about you, Dave? The big intro. What did you think?
Get ready for it. So I woke up that day. And, my daughter's typically not here all week. Like she goes to my in-laws or my mother's because we got work to do and stuff. So she was here that day. So she waits for me to get up so she can come up and play the PlayStation, because I told you guys she's addicted, right? So I'm like, look, you can play PlayStation, but Daddy has to watch something. So you can come up with Daddy and watch it with me, or you can stay down here with Mommy and I'll call you when I'm done, right? So she came up and she said, no, I'll watch it with you. I said, all right. She never watched it with me. So I'm watching this, and she's being her little self and talking in between and, trying to play with other things, or her ADD kicks in and she's like fussing around. I'm like, no, Chloe, we are watching this, or you can go downstairs with Mommy. So she continued to watch it, right? So whole show's pretty good. I'm gonna get to the good part. So I saw the X-Wing. As soon as I saw the X-Wing, I knew it was him. I don't know what it was. I had a feeling in my gut. I knew it was him. Every other Jedi that could possibly be living was gone. It was already out of my head. X-Wing, it was him. So that shit started, right? And you see Grogu looking, his ears pick up, he puts his hand on the screen. He knows whoever this is who is coming for him, and I'm like, I'm starting to cry. Like I'm straight up bawling like a baby. I'm watching this and I'm like, holy shit. Oh my God, right? And I'm watching and I'm like fucking wiping my eyes and I'm like, and my daughter's standing in front of me and she's just staring at me like, why am I crying? Like, like, Daddy, you okay? And she's like rubbing my leg. And then I had to like pause it too. I had to give it a quick pause. I'm like, honey, I'm okay. I'm happy. This is a happy tears. I had to show her that was a good thing. I was like, come watch. It's good. It's good. And yeah, I just bawled from then to the end. Like, and so, the credits came, and then when the credits came and, that extra scene came on, I got hyped. Like, that's when the hype came through. I was like, yeah. But I will say that whole scene with Luke, and then when R2-D2 came out, right? I didn't expect him to come out, right? He came out.
That's
and
nice.
then it looked like Grogu kind of, because R2 was around back then. He kind of either he recognized him or he just said, "Ooh, this is a new shiny ball for me." You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just something about him with the interaction with R2, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," So overall, cried like a bitch. I watched it like 2 times or 3 times that day. I actually watched it 2 times and then forwarded it again just to watch the X-Wing part again. And like you guys have said already, it's the Luke we always wanted. It's the Luke I always wanted to see on TV, live action. And I couldn't be happier. I was ecstatic. I still am. I might watch it again when we get off tonight.
Oh yeah.
Just talking about it again.
You could probably get away with it without any sound. But JD, what about you, bro? How was that moment?
So we didn't watch it till like later Friday night. We watched it with Marissa. Actually, she's Fen now. That's another story. But so we 3 of us sat up in the project room and watched it, and the whole episode's running by, and I'm like, they're gonna kill Grogu. They're gonna kill Grogu.
Stop.
They're gonna kill Grogu. But we got to the like right towards the end there, and Gideon's fucking shooting at Grogu. So like I thought, he was gonna be toast after that. And then she's like, great, they sent one lousy X-Wing. And then I just looked at Chan and was like,
Oh my God.
and then you watch the X-Wing come in, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God. And like tears. Watching how fucking graceful he is as a Jedi. Like it was like, Chan will say he was dancing, like he was doing a Jedi dance. Like it was so graceful. And that is exactly what I expected to see come out of knowing the Jedi that Luke had become. You know what I mean?
It's like, don't you feel proud of him? Like,
yes, absolutely.
When we saw him in 6, it was almost like pure luck that he got out of that situation,
Yeah.
And it's like, man, you did it, man. You fucking did it.
He's kind of doing this at Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, and we get this. So the biggest thing that I'm struggling with is like Grogu went with Luke. Mando has the Darksaber. Like these 2 stories have split 2 different ways now.
Yeah.
I don't want 2 different
two
shows.
main characters.
I don't want 2 different shows. I want to see like I just want to see how this is going to play out. That's the biggest thing that bothers me. And that bothers me. It just makes me sad that like these 2 paths have split when they've been together for 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's That's a good thing to bring up. Would anybody else be upset, like if that is the direction they decided to go? Like, let's say, okay, you got 2 seasons. This was the story, and now we are going in these separate directions. You know, and maybe the child doesn't have too much Grogu.
Nah, it's not gonna work. That whole Grogu Mandalorian connection is where the money's at.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that I mean, maybe they'll have, some fiction with Grogu outside of being with Mando, but not a whole. I don't think it's gonna separate. I don't think that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna
that's
have like
what
a Luke and Grogu fucking show or anything.
Yeah, like a fucking sitcom.
Doesn't seem like it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So
it's a bold move because
what's on everybody's tongue right now is the fact that we're all nerds. We're into this pretty deep. We all know that when Grogu gets a little older and he's being taught by Luke, that eventually he's going to come across Ben Solo if he's still getting taught by Luke at that point, right? And they say that Kylo Ren, in other words, Kylo's going to kill all the students that Luke, taught. So is Grogu part of that? So I would only assume that Grogu's going to somehow get saved again, or leave prior to that with Mando. With the Mandalorian, because this is like a cash grab for Disney. I don't think they're going to kill this character off anytime soon. But that's just what I think.
Yeah, and I think you could tell, because based off like that backstory with what happened with Kylo and Luke, that's many years later from like this point in time, like Luke Skywalker, like, you know what I'm saying? So, there's but
Grogu's a baby essentially still, like he's still 30 years from now or 20 years from now when that does come into play with Ben Solo, Grogu's still essentially going to be a kid or a young man or whatever it is. However,
I mean, at the rate he's growing, like, you know what I mean? He's in like human years, he might be like a year old. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So like whatever, in another 5 years, he's gonna be like a 3-year-old or like a 4-year-old. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, it's like it's such a weird species. Like, I'm starting to really think about this, and he might be an adult. It's just he looks like a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the vibe I was getting when they brought Ahsoka in, because it seemed he was communing with him.
Man,
like
the way, exactly what you said. Yeah, with Ahsoka. Ahsoka's like, he was trained and stuff like that.
But look, if Grogu's not in the show anymore. See?
I feel like it definitely leaves up, like, I think with the third season, when the third season is going to be more towards the Mandalorian, and I think they left the door open where Grogu is probably going to have a vision where the Mandalorian is in trouble and he stops halfway through his training, or like, he's fully trained by Luke and he comes in and saves him. And he's more, obviously with the training with Luke, he's more of a, he can stand on his own. He doesn't need protection. And he has embraced the Force, because remember, the reason why he was getting weak with the Force every time he used it, because he hasn't used it for a long time. Like, he's not used to using the Force, so he would get weak when using it after he used it. So I think with Luke training him, he's probably going to get, he's going to get more strength in the Force. And then eventually, I bet you he's going to have a vision where the Mando needs his help, and it's going to be season finale number 3, the third season of finale. It's going to be him coming back, saving the Mandalorian. I can see that happening, because, like Dave said, I don't think they're going to. This character is too important to Disney. So, I think
it's
at
true.
the end of the day,
there could be a time skip. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
what if they sort of split it where maybe you do get a little bit more of Luke in the next season, so you're seeing like his training, like with Luke, you're seeing the adventures of Mando, and then they come back together like in the final episode of the season.
Well, I mean,
I can see them doing, you could see.
I
go
don't
ahead.
care
Sorry.
about. I don't need to see Luke or this baby anymore. There's enough to unpack with him having the Darksaber right now.
There is.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
There's definitely.
But it's like Dave said, you know what I mean? The the connection between the two of them
Look at him. He's
is
fucking
the
terrified.
whole.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing, that the connection, he had a strong connection. That's why Ahsoka was like, I'm hesitant in training him because he has such a strong connection with you.
Yeah.
And like anything else, like I know Luke had a strong connection. Like, you know, his connection was with his friends, and he stopped halfway through his training to go save his friends, and that's kind of the trouble that you get into when training an older Jedi, because he's developed those connections, and he would be so quick to stop or focus on what he should be doing and go off and save his friends or save a friend or whatever the case may be. So I think that's going to play into it, and you know, it's definitely like the season that's going to be kind of like a Mando season, and see where the Mando goes. And then, you know, I agree with Brian. I don't really have to see Grogu being trained by Luke. You know, I just want to see. That'd be cool to see. Yeah, I can see Grogu come back and just a fucking badass Jedi. You know, and just kicking ass. You know,
them showing us Luke in this last episode was just a fucking love letter to us. I just thank you for doing that. Just really, I really appreciate it. I really thank you.
I forgot who I was talking to this week. I think it was EE Prime.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're spoiled. We are fucking spoiled. Like, I'm so lucky to be alive right now. Like, to see this.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys said it. It's the Luke we've always wanted to see. We never really got a chance to see it while Mark Hamill was in prime. You know, now, you know, through like just this expansion of the Star Wars universe with these shows, and then setting them in these various timelines. I mean, the possibilities are limitless with the stories and with these characters that we love. So, I mean, I thought, you know, when they saw the close up of his face, you could tell like it's not, you know, you could tell something's off. But just the fact that they could do that, you know, like, I mean, I think that's incredible just to get those moments like that we got in this episode. I mean, it's like shit. You know, but and that's it
also opens the door to like you know the like everybody remember with Ahsoka, where, you know, are they going to have that moment with Luke, and Luke telling Ahsoka that like Anakin did eventually come back to the, you know, and to the dark, into the light side, and he, you know, he was, you know, there was redemption there. So like, you know, it definitely leaves the door open, because, you know, now, you know, they're not afraid to use Luke. Luke is there, you know, in small portions they can use him, and I think they did a really good job in this episode. So I can see them, you know, pulling that out in their back pocket and say, you know what, let's, you know, this is the time to pull out Luke. Let's put him out and have that moment, you know.
And they've got all these series they say that are going to cross over, kind of like those DC sitcoms did, right, Jose? So they got all these new series. I mean, what if Luke tells Grogu, "Oh, remember that guy that came into the temple that you were so scared of all those years ago? Oh yeah, that was my dad, and he turned to the good side." And then what if Grogu tells that to Ahsoka, as opposed to Luke telling to Ahsoka? There's all kinds of
exactly.
Yep. But I would love for Ahsoka to learn that. You know. Yeah. I'd love to see that acknowledgement, you know. That killed her, man. That broke her heart again.
Yeah.
And the conflict that was brought up, like she said, she didn't really want to train Grogu because of like the emotional attachment, but it seems like Luke doesn't have a problem. He says that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to train him to use his abilities. So you can see he doesn't have any of those same problems that Ahsoka training. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really cool to see the sort of like, I mean, just the character development of Mando himself, like, you know, from going from, you know, never, you know, being pledged to never take off that mask. And he did it a couple of times in these final episodes, all in pursuit of trying to get this child back. So the connection that those characters have with each other has definitely like led to a change in just Mando's character himself. You know, just we got to see this dude's face, you know, and so it's just like, so he's not as strict as far as like that code about not taking off the helmet now, and you know, and just that attachment that he had, that he went to all those lengths just to find the child, you know. So
yeah. I mean, despite the Luke show, this episode really gave us a lot to think about for the rest of these characters as well, which is what I really like.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what Star Wars is supposed to do, like leave you and wanting more. Like it just I'm so happy that like, you know, I can't wait for the next season. I can't wait for these next, you know, series. You know, especially if they're involved, like those two guys are involved and you know, giving them blessing. You can see like they've written it, but like they used other directors and directors, like, you know, have done their spiel, but like at least they have a story. They have a story written out that has some meaning and some depth to it and some direction. And it's like, you know, that's what it needs. And, you know, and I think TV series help that. And I'm happy. I'm really happy with this platform. You know, movies are great. Don't get me wrong. But I think the TV series platform is great for us, and actually even great for Disney, because it keeps it in the mainstream. It keeps it, you know, as fresh as it could possibly be. You know what I'm saying?
And for actors, it keeps them getting paid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it gets a steady paycheck, and that's what they want to do. If you notice, more and more people are doing TV as opposed to movies these days. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And listen, I think like it was taboo almost, like before, like if a person was doing movies or was considered like a movie star, like for that person to go back to something considered television was almost like a demotion. Like you've seen less and less of that, like in recent years. But Disney Plus, I mean, look at what the fuck they're doing. They're taking these movie actors that played these roles in films, and they're making essentially television series with them. They're doing it with the Marvel, and you know, and they're doing it with Star Wars. So I mean that's dope. That is so dope. But I think an important part is the fact that it is modern times, and with a show like The Mandalorian, they're putting the production values into it to make it movie quality. Because I don't think we'd all feel the same about this if it looked like if you were getting this shit on a TV budget, like a broadcast TV budget.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like a WB type of.
Yeah, the shit looks so good. It's like
Supernatural.
Yeah, like this stuff. It looks so good to me that it looks like this is what you would see in a film, and I think that helps the show a lot. Also,
yeah,
special effects. I mean, I was talking to some other people about this the other day. It's like, was that R2-D2 even real? Right? That could have been. I mean, look at this baby Yoda. I mean, that R2-D2 could have been fake. That all could have been CGI. The shit that they're pulling off with this, it's ridiculously. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how good it is. It's just nuts. I can't believe it. You know, when I think about Lucas, like those behind
and we've seen
and him showing like the R2-D2s breaking down all the time. Like they don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. Man, that R2-D2 is not real. That was not physical. Probably. You know, it's like they can
they're using as many practical effects as they can.
That's what I feel like. They that's how it looks to me. It doesn't look artificial to me. Like
Grogu is a puppet.
Yeah, and if anything is artificial, it looks fucking like they do a very good job of making it look very real with the rest of it.
The space battles as well. I mean, there's no way they're using models, right? That's
I don't know if you remember seeing the whatchamacallit, they had like a little teaser reel
for Mando?
Yeah, before the first season. They were doing like multiple takes, and they had a model ship.
Oh,
and
they were back and look at it.
Or it was they had the camera on a thing, and they just had the ship in front of a black screen, and they were doing flybys.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
So there, you know, from what I understand, that, you know what I mean, there's got to be a certain level of their, you know, enhancing stuff,
but I mean,
or adding in some this and that, you know,
embellishing instead of the whole scene being like
like
the prequels. That's the way that looked. Like it all looked artificial, kind of like what I mean. The effects were what they were back then, but this stuff looks good. Like it looks really good to me.
Yeah,
it looks.
I think you know with like we all seen it. I just wanted to share this one thought because with Marvel, I think, you know, we've all seen it. You with where the movies were great and the distance between each, was definitely a good spacing in regards to wanting more. But like now it's dead. Like, granted, COVID happened and everything, and we were supposed to get Black Widow in April. But like the thing is that I really feel like these TV series are what's gonna keep the life of these characters moving and keeping people more interested in the franchise itself. So I'm hoping that people embrace these TV shows, because at the end of the day, this will make it more fresh and visible and keep going on. Movies are nice and they'll get the movies out when they get them out, but like I think with regards to these TV series, it's really going to help build a lot of character builds, to tell good stories, and even make the movies a little bit more blockbustery, to the point where they carry a little bit more oh shit moments, because the TV series might bring in some other characters that could help the movies along.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I think that's
I just feel like I think they're just going down the right road. I really do.
Well, and not only that too, I think Disney is really pushing out these series because they need this Disney Plus. Like that's a bragging point for them. It's like, we want to be the fucking best.
Oh yeah.
And then they've already that's going to be the one with Marvel. Like like a lot of these TV shows are gonna have plot points that lead into future films. So if you watch the shows, they're gonna play at least small little things that are gonna have consequences in the film, which is what you never got before Disney Plus. Now you're going to be getting it like a true synergy between these TV shows and the movies. So you're getting with both Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah, and I think another nice service it's providing too is, by having the TV shows, it's getting other actors who've always kind of wanted to work on these properties more opportunity to do so. Not only that, but directors as well. I mean, these Mandalorians. I mean, it's a mercenary group of directors that's doing these shows, and now it's like they don't have to put in a bid. It's like, oh, I hope I can direct a Star Wars movie someday. It's like you get a chance. Everybody gets a little chance. It's good. Star Wars is good for the soul. It'll be good for people.
No.
It'll just give it so much more depth and make the movies more it doesn't, you don't have to cram so much into a 3-hour movie, because you got to build so much into that 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? So these TV series can provide that depth to these movies and make these movies more dramatic in regards to what they're putting out there. So it's exciting, but like I can't wait. Star Wars is a little ahead of I would say. I like that Mandalorian came out with Star Wars and everything like that. I'm excited for all the Marvel shows that are coming out. The Loki and WandaVision and all that, all those and Winter Soldier and Falcon. I saw those trailers, I saw the previews, and I'm excited for it. So I'm definitely down to watch them. And
yeah, I actually haven't watched any of the trailers.
See where they take us. Yeah. And see where they take us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to just to get the continuation of these stories for the characters that you enjoyed, like in these films. So it's nice because it's almost like those phase 1 characters aren't completely phased out in a way. Like you're seeing the next evolution of them, along with everything else that's going to be coming new. Like we've already got a ton of announcements, and hopefully we get to see all that stuff, with all these delays and shit. So, but exciting, man. It's exciting times. No better time, as Dave said earlier, to be a fan, like with everything that's out there, like now, So, and a lot to look forward to. So, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed this Mando season. Like when I started seeing the things on Friday about the finale, no spoilers, but it was just like, it seemed like it was like that the past few weeks. Like there was a lot of goodwill, like towards these episodes. Like, oh, this was a great episode, and then the next one after, oh, this was great, and then on this one, the finale, they were like, oh my god. So I was a few episodes behind because I kind of like to just blow through them. So I was like, let me just catch up. No more bullshit. Let me watch them. And I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed
it. So you saw 3 all back to back to back.
Back to
Wow.
back.
Wow.
Nice.
Like that Boba Fett episode was, I was like, holy shit! Like that was the
Yep.
most badass I've ever seen this character. Like I never got the love. Like I understand he was cool and the bounty hunter, and you had all that EU stories. But as far as seeing this dude in films, he didn't seem like a big deal. But seeing him here and how badass he was, I was like, oh, okay, like that was the best I've ever seen that character. And now he's got
But
his
that's
own
the
show.
thing. That's the thing. You've got these characters that people love, and they're so there's a lore behind them, and it's like I want to see it. I just want to fucking see it. I want like what made Rogue One so great is that I want to see Darth Vader kick fucking ass. And granted, it was 30 seconds of fucking just screen time of him running down that corridor, fucking kicking ass. But it's like you have these characters. You can put this on the big screen. You can put it on TV and give the fans what they've been wanting to see for so long. And it's like why don't do it? And then the money will just like fucking pour in. It's just like blah, 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 blah. Like just give me more Darth Vader money. Blah 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 blah. Here's the money. Here's all my fucking money. Like just give me these things and stop it.
Yeah, like that the little teaser at the end of the episode with the book. You know what I mean? Like that book of, like I almost lost my mind. Like, oh my god. Like, is this? I hope like it better be a series. Like, I don't want it to be a book. Like, you know what I mean? So of course,
they announced it.
Of course it's you know what I mean? It's gonna be a new series, and that is fucking amazing. But with that said, like I saw a little thing. I guess it was like an interview with Jon Favreau, and like one of the things he says, he's like, it was something he learned from working with Kevin Feige or something, and you got to keep the core fans, in the forefront. Those are the people who have kept these properties alive. So like, those are the people that you want to make happy. You know what I mean? And that the casuals are always going to be there,
right?
And it's this, it's the core fan base that's gonna continue to love this stuff if you give them not so much what they want, but in a way what they want.
But like the thing is, JD, is that these us core fans fell in love because of these ingredients that they put in the beginning.
Absolutely.
So like if they just keep those ingredients in, you're gonna make us happy. And you're going to have other people fall in love because the core fans fell in love with this in the first place. So it's like, it's simple fucking logic.
Yeah, I've heard some arguments on the flip side. I've heard some arguments on the flip side though, like that they, like all the fans that were happy to see Luke and and getting all these nods to these older characters. Some people are upset because they want like the focus to be on the newer characters and not have it tie back so much to the older stuff that we already knew. Like they want them to go in a new direction and tell new stories. So what do you think about that?
I kind of agree with that.
It's a balance.
It's
a balance.
It's just cool to see, though. I mean, it's in this time frame.
This isn't the Old Republic or anything like that, where there's a ton of characters that we don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
the thing is, I feel
it makes sense. I'm sorry, Doc.
I just feel that it's there's definitely have to be a balance, and sometimes the balance might sway a little bit more to fan service in the beginning to get these more, to get the more new characters, in the forefront. Like, it's got to be a slow fade, and if there isn't a slow fade, as we've seen in the sequels, like, there's dramatic fades where, you lose some of these characters that we love and they don't have the screen time, more of a screen time to enjoy a story and just pass the torch. But you only can do so much in a 3-hour movie. That's the problem. So, I think with this, you're gonna have a nice progression where you're going to have some fan service, and then these new characters are going to be built in certain episodes, and then you're going to find where then you don't have to show the Boba Fett's, you don't have to show the Skywalkers, and then all of a sudden you can enjoy some of these newer characters because you're falling in love with them as the fade is been, you know, as the fade's going back, you know, and the older characters are no longer available, you know.
So like Dom, I agree with you 100% because I think that the shows are doing it a little bit more gracefully as opposed to the movies are. You know what I mean? Because they have that time. Because like the movies, like they did with the last one, and they just brought back Sidious as like the main protagonist after they had Snoke around for no fucking reason. It still bothers me. I'm sorry. Yep. Like the way they tied that all together and like just threw a movie at us, it was just like fuck you. You know what I mean? Like that was not the way, you know, it should have been done. I mean, obviously I'm not the only one that thinks like that, but if they would have just did it a little bit more gracefully or maybe implemented more of that, you know, not bringing back everything. I think they brought back too much in the new movie. Right. They copied basically the plot from the first movie for the first movie again. The second movie was fucking stale. You know, they were in space half the time, and then the last movie just it was a jumble of the two. It was a jumble of the two trying to fix the two. And what they did is they didn't bring us anything new to me they didn't bring us anything new.
After Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, after Rise of Skywalker, I mean, JD, you've been saying it since the very get-go, but like after Rise of Skywalker came out, I was like, wow, that sequel trilogy was actually kind of pointless, except to make money.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to redo Disney.
They needed Jack Sparrow and Dave Filoni to make those movies because obviously they seem to know what they're fucking doing. According to, you know, all the happy fans that are out there now, you know.
Snyder hit it on the head. Like Snyder hit it right on the head. You need a plan. You need some fucking plan to tell your. They had no plan. They had 3 movies. You had that's a total of 9 hours that they could have built a story and maybe do a little fan service and tell a story and use these 3 stories as a transition rather than like, you know, put the new characters up front and use it as a transition so you can have the core fans love because you have the Han Solo, the Skywalkers, and the Leias, and then all of a sudden, you know, you get into these new characters, and then at least have some type of, you know, fan base to take these new characters into the next sequel. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they just didn't do it. Like, they didn't have that plan, and I think they failed. And
they were like, whatever happens,
it's unfortunate because they did have some.
Nobody can know.
Yeah, the casting wasn't that bad. It was just there was some fucking storyline.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. The lack of storyline.
Exactly.
Plan is a 4-letter word, and you know what other 4-letter word they used all the time in those sequel movies? Hope. And we all know what hope is.
It's not a plan.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But rebellions are built on hope.
Most Breaking the Molds fucking episodes are built on hope too.
It works.
It works.
Oh my god. So yeah, man. So good stuff. I thought overall,
the Death Star.
I got to catch up with all those episodes back to back, and I was kind of like blown away because I was like, just quality. Like, and I really liked the way they wrapped it all up. And then, of course, just, you know, that scene at the end, Luke, all that. I was just as happy as you guys to see that character the way I always wanted to see him, the way we never really got to see him, you know, because, you know.
And the thing is, it's like, it's not like I wanted to see it. It was just like, because, I mean, to me, it all ended after 6 anyway, right? But it's like, it's just, you got to remember, back when episode 6 ended, we never saw Jedi doing these Jedi things. We didn't see that till 1999. So it's like, you know, it never kind of crossed my mind. Oh, I would have loved to have seen Luke be a real Jedi, but no, it just happened. They just showed it to us, and I was like, wow.
Yes.
Like and I was just, again, it was like an old friend coming back, like, dude, what have you been doing the last 20-something years? Like, wow, you did it. You fucking did it. Look at you. Fucking proud of you, dude.
It was pretty badass. I think I heard like some people complaining about it, like because they said like supposedly like the scene looked very similar to like another scene.
The Rogue One scene.
The Rogue One scene with Vader. Is that what they were saying? Like, you know?
Well, look, let me ask you guys this: you're a guy with a lightsaber walking down a narrow corridor. How else is this going to play out? I mean, come on.
Exactly. It's just going to be. It's. But like it, we all knew it was him, and it's like it just seeing him like Brian said, it's just seeing him in action as a Jedi doing Jedi shit is what a lot of us wanted to see, and they gave it to us, and I thank them for it.
If they do decide to do like, let's say like because I'm already hearing rumors about it of like a Luke series like on Disney Plus like around this timeline while he's still young in his prime, do you think they'll still continue to try to go the CGI route, or will they try to do a full recast?
I hope they don't, Jose.
I don't think so either.
You don't want to do it at all?
I mean, it was well done for that 3 minutes that we got him on screen, but not for a whole episode. I can't deal with that.
No, but like his own series, like you wouldn't want to see a series like whatever it happens to be about or whatever, like him like in his prime, like the way we saw him here. You wouldn't.
Yeah, I would love to see the show, but I don't want Hamill to do it and then to CGI his face on it. I'd rather them get a new guy to do it.
Yeah, I'd have Mara Jade. Yeah. Dude, yeah, we need some redheads in Star Wars. Yeah, but you know what I was just thinking was, this is just 5 years after, right? Episode 6, and let's say Luke hasn't even started the school, but let's say the people who witnessed, like, no one knows that Luke's a Jedi, right? Let's say no one knows, but let's say like this event right here is what starts the rumors of his greatness, like. Gideon gets out and be like, "You'll never believe what I just saw," when he talks to his Empire people, or same thing when they head out to Mandalore, be like, "Dude, the Jedi aren't dead. You'll never believe what I just saw," or something like that.
Well, the Empire at that point would probably put, a bounty on his head,
right? But but the fact that he never announced who he was, they might not even know who he is.
Right.
Like, not everybody knows what Luke looks like. So I mean. That would be kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, if they put a bounty on his head, Boba Fett's gonna look at that and be like, "I'm not taking that one. I saw what that motherfucker did."
And that's been going around in memes. Like when it all ended, I was like, "Oh shit, what if Boba was there?" He would have been like, I know you."
Exactly. Like it was. I like the reason.
What's up, man?
I like the. I like the thought process and making sure he wasn't there. Like it would have been like I'm sure he would attack them. Like he would fucking go after him, because at the end of the day,
they would have made it a comedic
this is the
thing.
guy.
Would have killed the whole vibe. Because he wouldn't have killed him. He wouldn't have killed him because he's different now, obviously, right?
Exactly.
But he would have taken it and be like, I know, like you're half the reason I'm here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to you have the reason I almost died, really. Like,
or they could be like, "Dude, 5 years you didn't get a new outfit," and be like, "Dude, look who's talking."
That's funny.
But like, it was. Yeah, I just felt it was a good thought process to keep him out of that, and then like the teaser at the end just blew it all up for me. So it's like with him going back to Tatooine and shit, that was just awesome.
So is this chick gonna stay on with him? Is she gonna do the show with him, or is that just how they ended it?
Yeah, she's gonna be a part of it.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
she's in her 50s.
Yo, dude, I was like, this chick does not age. I was like, I remember her from Street Fighter in the fucking 90s. Like,
she looks the same.
I remember her from ER. That's where I remember her.
Yeah,
exactly the same.
I was like, whoa, like it's just and she was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, she don't age. You wouldn't be able to tell, Like, so that's dope. That's dope. So, okay, I guess we could wrap up on that one and call it a night. We'll go around the yard, get some where you at. Brink, I'll start with you, bro.
Hey, at Brink Lizer on Instagram, and tune in, of course, to ETR next week. We're off this week, which I had forgotten about. So tune in next week for fun times, and yeah, here, of course, on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's where I am. Merry Christmas, people.
I was wondering, I was like, is he going to say it? I almost forgot it's Christmas this weekend. Dominic.
Yeah. You can find me, Dominic Russell, in Facebook groups, and here Tuesday nights with these guys. And Merry Christmas to all you guys and out in the internet world. And just keep it safe and enjoy your families. And I can't wait for more Star Wars, please. Like, just put another fucking series on right now.
Yeah. All right, Dave.
And Merry Christmas to you guys too.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Tom.
Oh.
Well, you guys can find me here on Tuesdays. Find me on Instagram on under Energon_addict. And Facebook, David Colon. And like the guy said, have a Merry Christmas. Stay safe. You know, have fun with your families. Don't break your toys, guys. Okay? I know you're probably getting some good stuff. All right? We can't wait to see all your hauls for Christmas, but be good.
All right, JD.
You can find me, Pigment Surgery, on Instagram and Xbox Live. JD Brocious in the Facebook groups, Shelf Gravy. I don't know if we're doing anything tomorrow. I'm not sure. We're undecided. We'll post something if there is. Well, either way, we'll post something either way. But yeah, Tuesday night's here, and Wednesday some figure banging. Everyone have a wonderful holiday, and stay safe, stay warm, all that good stuff. Yeah, and we'll see you next time.
Next time. Thank you, guys. And as for myself, Eric and BX on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, ETR on Monday nights on this channel, 8 p.m. here every single Tuesday night. With my bros here, and Verbally Challenged coming back very, very soon. Check that out on all audio platforms. Don't forget to check out all the rest of the shows that are a part of the Cool Table Network. You could find the Cool Table page on Facebook, and there are links on that page to a bunch of other awesome podcasts, so please check those out. Check out friends of the show, Nerds Have Spoken. I actually recorded an episode with those guys over the weekend, so it was a lot of fun. Those guys drop on Thursdays. You can check them out on YouTube and on audio platforms. Check out the Ladies of the Realm on the Total Package podcast. And the Nerd Life Syndicate on Friday nights right here on this channel. And as these guys said, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Please be safe out there. Enjoy the time with your loved ones and your family. And we'll see you back here very, very soon, guys. Chat Squad, you guys were awesome. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. And we wish you all a very Merry Christmas, all right? Take care, stay safe. Peace out, guys.
Yo, Bo-Katan, right? Bo-Katan's gonna get that dark saber.
Yep.
She is. She is.
Say it with me now. Round.